Well, today is the big day, isn't it? Christmas Day. Fucking makes me feel like I'm in London all over again. Anyway, got two dishes for you today. First up is cocktail meatballs. Into a mixing bowl, 1 pound of ground beef, a half a cup of breadcrumbs, 3 tablespoons of minced onion, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 large egg. And then you basically want to give this a little mixeroo. And then you're going to want to form into 1.5 ounce bottles, basically. Or bottles. 1.5 ounce balls. You can form them into bottles if you like. I mean, up to you. But 1.5 ounce balls. And, all right, I'll show you the next step. Okay, and then on a parchment-lined baking sheet, again, like I said, 1.5 ounces, roll them out into a ball, and then place them into a 350-degree oven. And basically, you want to bake these for about 20 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, stop the clock, and take them out and turn them once. You should realistically, I think I made 15 balls with this recipe, if I remember correctly. But, so yeah, that's all you got to do for that. All right, let's make the sauce that goes with it. Okay, this is them after the 10-minute mark. And again, you just want to flip them. Again, normally I'd sear meatballs before putting them in the oven, but I decided not to this time. Okay, time to make the sauce for our meatballs. To a pot on low heat, you want to add 8 ounces of canned jellied cranberry sauce, 3/4 of a cup of chili sauce, a tablespoon of brown sugar, and a half a teaspoon or a half a tablespoon, a teaspoon and a half or a half a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then you just want to stir this over low heat until the meatballs are done. Okay, with the sauce, after the meatballs are done cooking, after that 20 minutes, you want to put them in the sauce. You know, just gently stir them around, because remember, meatballs are pretty delicate, so they can break apart. So you want to gently stir them. And then you want to simmer them in the sauce for 1 hour. And after that hour is up, grab yourself a bowl like I'm doing and serve them up. All right, that's cocktail meatballs. Let's move on to the Christmas lasagna. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we need to brown our meats. Now, to a pot, I have added 1 pound of sausage and 2 pounds of ground beef. And basically, you just kind of want to stir and chop until everything is done. Over a medium heat with the lid, this should take somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. But go with your stove. Obviously, you don't want to serve undercooked sausage. Okay, now it's time to build the meat sauce for the lasagna. But before we do the meat sauce, we have to make the marinara. So, into the same pot we cooked our meat, I have a little bit of olive oil, a diced onion, and 6 cloves of minced garlic. And there's nothing wrong with using the garlic from the jar, despite what some jackass who wears a corn costume says. It's minced garlic in olive oil. That's it. You can make it at home. All right, so give these a couple of minutes to turn translucent. Oh, also, I shouldn't need to say this, but don't forget to salt and pepper your onions and garlic. Okay, my onions are basically translucent at this point, about 90%. And this is 12 ounces of tomato paste. If you can't find a 12-ounce can, just grab 2 of the little 6-ounce cans. But I have the 12-ounce available, so how about that? Then you're going to want to give this a good stir and let it cook for a couple of minutes. Nothing too fancy. Just a little bit of time for the tomato paste to break down just a little bit in the pan. All right, after that, and it was probably closer to 45 seconds than a minute for the tomato paste. You want to add two 24-ounce or 28-ounce cans, of crushed tomatoes, whatever brand you like. And then stir this around. And then you're going to want to simmer this for a little bit of time. Some other things that I added before I sent it off on its simmering journey was 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, at least a teaspoon of salt, and of course, pepper to taste. Just kind of taste this as it goes, as it develops, and if you need to add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, if it's a little too salty, balance it out with a little bit of basil, because basil's kind of sweet. Just, keep tasting it. Always taste your cooking, guys. But this will take 20 minutes on the stove, simmering. If you have a splatter screen, I do suggest using it. Okay, so after it's simmered for a bit, you want to add all that meat in. And this is a meaty sauce. In addition, if you want, half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, more salt and pepper, and just a touch of red pepper flakes. Just a little bit, like a quarter of a cup. Or quarter of a teaspoon. Do not put a quarter of a cup of red pepper flakes in your meat sauce. And, well, hey, if you like spicy, go for it. Make it with a quarter of a cup. I don't care. And if it is a little too thick for you, you can add water to thin it out if you like. Okay, now it's time to make the ricotta filling for our dish. You're going to want 2 pounds of whole milk ricotta. Don't get that goddamn part skim crap. Whole milk ricotta. You'll want 2 eggs, 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese that you add to this, 2/3 of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and a pinch of cayenne. Just a pinch of cayenne. That is optional if you don't like spicy because, I don't know, you're a fucking loser. You can omit it. So almost got our ricotta filling ready. And then you just want to grab a spoon and stir this until it's mixed. All right, that's the ricotta filling. I also added it to a large plastic resealable bag to kind of make a piping gimmick. You'll see in a minute. Okie dokie. I've got my water boiling, and because of lasagna's kind of unique noodles, I decided to use the pot I have that has the strainer in it. So get the water to boiling. Once it's boiling, make it salty as the sea. Cook your lasagna noodles. Make sure to take at least a minute off the package directions, the minimum package time directions, because again, remember this bastard is going to bake for a while, so the noodles will continue to cook. Okay, and as you can see here, I'm spreading a little bit of that meat sauce love on the bottom of our baking dish. This is so the lasagna doesn't stick. And then you want to add your noodle layer. Just like that. Okay, and you'll kind of have to adjust the noodles as you see fit. And then spread another layer of that meat sauce. And now it's time for the ricotta filling. Again, you can see that bag here. I'm just kind of piping and draping it a little bit. I just figured this was the best way to do it. I'm sure there's some Italian chef that's watching this right now calling me a stupid fucking jackass. And then just kind of spread out the ricotta mix. And then another layer of noodles. Boom. Meat sauce. And you just keep repeating this. All right, let's skip to the end. Okay, last layer. I believe this was 4 or 5 layers deep. Anyway, just when it ever gets to the top. Noodles, meat sauce, and all of the ricotta filling you have left. Because remember, cheese melts. It'll get down to the lower levels. Then you want to top this with 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. Or 4 ounces mozzarella, 4 ounces provolone, and a good dusting of that Parmesan cheese we were talking about. Then you want to put this in a 375 degree oven covered with tin foil. Now, you want to use the tin foil for the first 30 minutes of baking. Then take it out, pull the tin foil off, and then bake for an additional 30 to 35 minutes or until the cheese is golden brown. And after an hour, look at that bastard. Delicious. So, that is my Christmas lasagna. It's the end of the Christmas spectacular. So, to you and yours and everyone you care about, Merry Christmas.